Good morning, everyone. Today we have a special news broadcast about the events that led to the election of 1876, which was thought to have been a manipulated election in favor of the Republicans, and was later followed by the Compromise of 1877. The compromise allowed Republican Rutherford B. Hayes to become president, gave Democrats control of all state governments in the South, appointed a Southerner in Hayes' office, and Republicans promised to give more money to the South for internal improvements. And now for a more in-depth discussion, I leave it to historical expertise Neil Mandriga and Nathan Mohan.
Hi, I'm Neil.
And I'm Nathan.
Let's start off with President Lincoln's Reconstruction Plan. In this plan, free slaves were helped by the Freedmen's Bureau that was established in March 1865.
Did you know Lincoln began offering full pardon and restoration of property to white Southerners that would take an oath of allegiance to the United States and its laws? This was known as the Amnesty Proclamation of 1863.
As stated in the Amnesty Proclamation of 1863, he stated, to avoid misunderstanding, it may be proper to say that this proclamation has no reference to states wherein loyal state governments have all been well maintained.
Lincoln wanted to bring back the seceded states into the Union as soon as he could. He proposed a 10% plan. This plan required Confederate state voters to take an oath of allegiance, and once they reached 10%, the state would be allowed to establish their own state government, and they would be recognized in the Union.
In contrast, Johnson, a Southern Democrat, sided with radical Republicans, believing the South should be punished. He blamed the Civil War on the Southern planter elite. In Johnson's Reconstruction Plan, he allowed pardons to Southerners who took oaths and restored property rights, yet he did nothing about voting and civil rights of former slaves.
Later on, Johnson caused the Congressional Reconstruction due to the era to emerge. During this time, the Republicans dominated the Congress. Johnson suspended Stanton from office and appointed Grant as Secretary of War. This all contradicted the Tenure Office Act.
Congress was angry and impeached him. It was a vote of 126 to 47. Though they had a case against him, they did not convict him due to the fear that it might damage constitutional separation of powers.
Furthermore, after the Panic of 1873, the economy went downhill and the Democrats saw this as an opportunity to capture the White House. Due to Grant's administration having a scandal called the Whiskey Ring, the Democrats demolished the administration.
Tilden had a vote of 184, while Hayes had a vote of 165. There were 20 voted that were undecided. This went to the Supreme Court, where an electoral commission, 8 were Republican and 7 were Democrat.
Democrats were very angry and threatened Hayes' inauguration, which resulted in the Compromise of 1877.
Well, I believe that wraps up the topic.
And now back to Alexa.
Well, thanks, Neil. Now, folks, that is the end of our show. Stay tuned for next time.